We're pleased to be joined by Steve Moore, Trumponomics author, Wall Street Journal columnist, editorial board member, and economist. Steve, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. How you doing?
Your, sort of perspective on President Trump's accomplishments right up until the very end, as yesterday, against the backdrop of what is going to happen in the House today.
Well, first of all, this president had amazing accomplishments, especially on the economy. We built the economy twice. It was a spectacular achievement. We had the lowest poverty rate, lowest unemployment rate, lowest inflation rate, highest job wage gains. I mean, it was really quite spectacular. And even people who voted for Biden in the election admitted that Trump was much better on the economy than Biden would be. So what's going on right now, Dan, which is highly disturbing, is that not only is the left, going to impeach Trump, or at least try to, but they're impeaching his ideas.
Steve, you're cutting out on us a little bit there. You're cutting out on us a little bit. You're cutting out on us a little bit there.
Sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So I was just saying he's impeaching. The left is impeaching not just Trump, but his economic ideas and his followers, and I think that's reprehensible. Look, we should learn from what worked and what didn't work, and for the most part, Trump's policies worked spectacularly well. I think I kind of almost hope that they do impeach Trump, because it will be so outrageous. People will see how deranged the left really is. The American people don't want Trump impeached. He should, Dan and Amy, in my opinion, I'd love your guys' idea. I think he should be censured for his behavior of the last couple of weeks. I think it's been indefensible. But to impeach him with 5 or 6 days to go, it's just being punitive, and it's meant to really strike at the heart of the people who have been his followers for 4 years.
Yeah, and last night we learned that, it's official. Vice President Pence is not going to invoke the 25th Amendment because he's not in a comatose state, saying, I don't believe that such a course of action is in the best interest of our nation or consistent with our Constitution. And that's not something that Democrats wanted to hear, because they wanted to take the easy way out and just have Pence do it and then take over. But do you think if the writing's on the wall, and if more Republican senators say, yes, I would vote to impeach, it would be in his best interest to resign and then have Pence pardon him and some of his family members?
No, I don't. I don't think that's in the best interest. I think he should serve out his term. What he's done for America has been really quite historic, in my opinion. I mean, my goodness, this is the man who's, because of his Operation Warp Speed, one of the greatest programs of government ever, and it was a government program where we just got the government out of the way. This is going to save tens of millions of lives around the world. I mean, it was a spectacular accomplishment. So I think he should serve out the rest of his term. I think his conduct since the election has been reprehensible, and I'm upset with him because he's let down his followers, the people who've really admired him, people like me who've worked for him. But that doesn't erase the fact that our policies, Dan and Amy, work. Reducing taxes, reducing regulation, promoting American energy, pro-American trade policies, putting America first, protecting our First Amendment rights, which, as you guys know, are under assault. I'm surprised, Dan and Amy, you guys are still on the air, frankly.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. One, just on this, resign and have Pence pardon you. This is such a good example of this sort of surrender Republican mentality. First of all, it comes from a place of ignorance, people who don't even understand the implication of that. Number one, the implication of bending the knee to the left, which you shouldn't do. Number two, oh, by the way, a pardon does not prevent impeachment. And all that would do is wave a red cape in the face of Nancy Pelosi and probably Mitch McConnell to move forward with an impeachment trial post presidential term. So the pardon has the effect only with respect to potential federal statutory charges. It doesn't have anything to do with impeachment. It doesn't have anything to do with state charges. The idea that this would forestall what the left is intent on doing, which is using Trump to divide Republicans and unite Democrats, is just such a facile understanding of politics. It's just astounding to me. That said,
and you know what, Dan, let me just add something you said. I agreed with every word you just said. But the other thing that's so odd about this and weird is if I were an economic or political advisor for Joe Biden, what I would do is say, look, we should not impeach Donald Trump. He's going to be gone in 6 weeks. If he really wanted to unite the country, why antagonize the 50% of Americans who are Trump voters? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. But what it shows is how deranged the anti-Trump derangement syndrome is so severe, they can't even do what's in their own self-interest. And
well, they don't want him to run for office ever again.
75 to 80 million of them
done.
are never going to forgive the Democrats for this impeachment. And by the way, why would you impeach him after after the Russian collusion hoax? I mean, my God, it just reminds people of how crazy these people are and how absurd, how much they want to get him out of office, even if it only means getting him out of office 24 hours before he's leaving office.
Speaking of derangement, your
buddies. Can I just say one other quick thing, Dan?
Okay.
I think that Mike Pence has been. I just respect that man so much. Trump put him in a very difficult position, and I almost unforgivable Trump's behavior in terms of his dealing with Pence, saying, "Oh, Pence let me down."
Agreed.
Pence did what he had to do. He acted honorably. He acted with dignity, and I think his stature has gone up in most Americans' minds for the way he's dealt with this crisis.
Yeah, totally agreed. Speaking of you and your friends Kudlow and Laffer,
yep.
A Forbes editor, the Lincoln Project say guys like you should never work in that town called D.C. again. How do you react to that?
Well, the Lincoln Project is not Republicans. People have to realize that. These are radical leftists, and these are people who've left the party, and they are extremely upset with people like Donald Trump and Mike Pence and people like Kudlow and myself and Laffer because they became irrelevant. And the worst thing in Washington is to be irrelevant, to where nobody calls you anymore, nobody cares about your opinion anymore. And that's these people like Schmidt and others that are heading this up. They become relevant by basically, going to the other side and being used as stooges, right? I mean, by the way, the Lincoln Project and the people who are funding it are not Republicans, folks. These are liberal Democrats who are using it as a foil to do exactly what you said, Dan and Amy, which is to split the Republican Party. Republicans now have to be a loyal opposition. We have to oppose virtually everything that Joe Biden wants to do, not because we don't like Joe Biden, because all of his policies are bad for the country. The Republicans have to come up with pro-growth, pro-freedom alternatives, and it really starts with protecting the First Amendment. I don't know about you guys. I am terrified by the left's basically censoring anyone who disagrees with them. And I was only half kidding when I said, they're coming after me, but Dan and Amy, they're coming after you too. They want to get you off the air because you're subversive.
Well, and then you've got, the Second City blog it's been up for 15 years. It's the Chicago police officers. It's where they go to vent and talk about different arrests. That was yanked. And also, there's talk of taking the Trump sign off of the Trump Tower downtown because one alderman thinks that it stains the city's skyline.
Yeah, well, that's been a real source of commerce for the city of Chicago. But the other thing that's really, I think troubling to me is, did you see the latest thing is they wanted to take Donald Trump's security detail away from him.
Ooh.
I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, Donald Trump has a target on his chest. The idea that you're going to take the security away from him.
He can. I don't. People shoot him. Yeah, I don't agree with that, but he can pay for his own security detail. My concern is much because Donald Trump is well positioned to weather whoever is going to come after him, no matter how many big tech companies deplatform him, no matter how many banks don't want to do business with him. But it's regular people, those 74 million who voted for him, who you have all these people out there making lists in the media and in Fortune 1000 companies and down that the power structure in those companies that are looking for anybody who may have a picture of attending a Trump rally, no matter how peacefully or a pro-Trump comment or something, and looking to purge people. And you start to remove people. Their ability to make a living, their ability to participate constructively in politics, just try to sort of browbeat them out of civil society.
Yep.
Now
you've got a real recipe for disaster.
You've got totalitarianism,
yes.
And this is exactly where it's been headed. Actually, I'm not entirely surprised by this. I mean, the left has been, radically taken over the Democratic Party, and they do want to shut up and shut down anyone who disagrees with them. And it is very troubling. And I just saw a poll that came out looked at Americans' respect for institutions. This came out literally 24 hours ago, and it finds among Republicans there is zero trust in government right now. It's zero trust in the media, and zero trust even in big tech. And then you wonder, gee, why is that? Maybe it's because they are coming after us in such a vicious way. I mean, it's just not America anymore if you do this. We have the right to. You have the right to say what you want. You even have the right to offend people. You don't have the right to, for insurrection or treason. But free speech is everything that America is about. It's the First Amendment, folks.
Steve Moore, Trumponomics author, Wall Street Journal editorial board member, and economist. Steve, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Great to be on your show. I hope it's going to last throughout the rest of the year under the Biden administration.
Yeah, all right, really. Don't scare us. We have enough to worry about. Stephen Moore, he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Does it feel like your house is getting smaller every day? Like the walls are closing in around you? If you're like most people, you're spending more time at home working, entertaining friends and family, and even doing e-learning with the kids. What if you can improve your lifestyle by turning your unfinished basement into a whole new world? Hi, I'm Nick Richmond, proud founder of the area's largest basement finishing company, Matrix Basement Systems. We've finished over 6,000 basements, and every single space is unique. We tailor the design, the planning, and the build-out around your needs and your lifestyle. Whether you're in need of a home gym, a home office, a theater area for movie night, or a lower-level bar for entertaining friends on a weekend, we've got you covered. For you loyal AM 560 listeners, we're also